look to explore what I think is the most important landscape in the world. And here we are, in the middle of London, one of the world's greatest cities, outside the Houses of Parliament, a World Heritage Site. And you might think that it's the landscape around here, exactly around here, that I'm going to show you. Well, it isn't. I'm going to show you a more important landscape, I believe, for the world today, just around the corner. Follow me. So we've just walked through Parliament Square. We're now at Westminster Abbey, which you can see behind me, big Ben in the distance. And where we're going is the old orchard at Westminster Abbey. Here we are on Abbey Orchard Street, just around the corner from the Abbey, at Abbey Orchard Estate, which is run by people in trust. The landscape is the courtyard. Abbey Main Courtyard is the only open space for 330 dwellings. Walking into the space, we found a cluster of Eurobins floating on a sea of undulating patched tarmac. Cars seem randomly parked everywhere, limiting use of the sorry-looking play area. The consultation showed people simply held their breath, put their head down, and breathed a sigh of relief once on the street.
And by taking something very, very bold, and I do think that the landscape design at Abbey is a bold design, very, very significantly green. You've got a ball court which does not fit in a perpendicular fashion, so it goes against the kind of immediate grain of the sort of shape of the estate. You've got an unfenced play area, so going against, again, the idea that every play area has to have a fence around it, utilising equipment which was not a swing and a roundabout and a springy chicken. You've got a significant amount of deciduous planting, which goes brown during the winter. And that was something that I was very keen on, and taking that, so we're moving away from Pyracantha and Berberis and what I call a housing estate palette, and trying something which is much more naturalistic. In an environment which is fairly challenging, was going to get hammered by children using it, and was going to be subject to the sort of issues of sort of climate change in terms of high summertime temperatures, probably lower precipitation, all those kinds of things. And, it's 5 years, 6 years after the event, it's lush.
So what difference is this landscape going to make?
Quite a lot of difference. She's brought the outside environment inside the yard, like trees, birds coming back, and greenery. It's made a difference because prior to that it was 4 walls, old trees which were falling down, and it needed a big change.
Well, there were only cars in here.
There were only cars. It was a wire cage right.
Say that the landscape therefore has a role to play?
Definitely. Because we have their families in there with young children, and the parents bring them out, they sit on the bench or they play in the yard, and they take them around and they show them what the trees are, what the plants are, which is good.
The Orchard Courtyard is a housing landscape. It's a typical landscape familiar to everyone. Here, in London, in this city, and in Europe. It is that landscape, when improved, in the ways that we have shown you in this video, that is re-engaging the relationship between people and nature. That simple relationship is what is going to save this planet for us all.
It's become a place where we can take people to show what is the art of the possible.
Speaking to neighbours sitting on the bench, it brings the community together. That's important.
Thank you.